Well, such an honor to be here. So I went to go get some snacks. Um, Listen, we're eating healthy. Okay, I know some of the other videos I've been eating a little. What's the word? Not as healthy, a little bit unhealthy, a little bit luxurious. Okay. However, though, we eating healthy. So yeah, we got some nuts. I got a nice thing of water. You see that pure life? Because that's the goal, to have a pure life. Alrighty, so this video is about just remove yourself from toxic family. Um, there's a lot of people who've experienced toxic family. If you've never experienced anything with your family dynamic in regards to it being toxic or anything like that, you are blessed. May the Lord continue to bless you and your family, and that is a beautiful thing. Um, that is a very beautiful thing. Now, this is for the ones who are not so blessed in that, that spectrum. Dealing with toxic family, growing up for me personally, like I've noticed of like two specific family members, distant family members of mine. They've been distant within the whole family dynamic. And when I was younger, I didn't really understand. I didn't really get it. Um, you don't understand why that distant family member is so distant and is never around until you grow up and then you see, okay, now you understand. And that's pretty much where I am because I am now that same family member as those two that I have remembers in my head, in my memories of being distant from, you know, my family. Dynamic is extremely toxic, narcissistic. For me personally, like my family likes to portray themselves as if they're God in my life. They like to be the Most High God. And that's idolatry. They want to be idolized. They want to be worshipped. They want to, you know, they want that type of relationship with. They want to be like on the throne and whereas I'm like, oh, they want that type of thing, and that's narcissistic, that's toxic, that's unhealthy. No family dynamic should be like that. And if listen, if you're dealing with that, this is for you. So please continue to watch the video and share with others who may be experiencing this type of traumatic situation. Even if you yourself cannot relate to this, there's someone that you may know who can. So for me personally, like growing up, I've realized like my family has not been for me. I've realized that I didn't want to believe it because family is like blood. They say blood is thicker than water. Um, in my situation, it definitely is not. And now that I'm grown and I'm old and not old, Lord willing, hopefully I get old. But I'm a young adult. And so now that I'm in my adulthood, I'm so blessed that I'm able to have the freedom to remove myself from that because I've noticed personally, um, when I am around my family, I'm depressed. I'm in that low vibrational state. I'm becoming a glutton, like I stated in my last video. Um, Glutton is the biggest thing with my family. So when I'm around them, I'm just in a low vibrational state. I don't like to argue. I'm very um, easygoing. I'm a very easygoing individual. I really don't like to fuss. I really don't like to fight. I really don't like to argue. However, like when I'm around family, they bring that out of me. The stuff that people on the who's not in that gatekeeping type of relationship. If you're on the outside of that, then you get the positive qualities and traits about me. However, if you're in the gatekeeping, which is my family in this sense, um, then you're gonna experience the toxic side of me. And that's only due to my what's the word? I get like that due to defense. You know, I have a huge defensiveness about me, and that stems from my family. Um, like trying to use my words wisely. I'll just say this, like, as I stated before, my family has not been for me. And for instance, I remember when I was in high school, I was very depressed in high school. In my last video, when I was talking about gluttony, because I was with family, I had no choice. I was a teenager. You know, I wasn't an adult yet, so I was bound to be under their supervision. Um, I became a glutton, you know, and I became like overweight and blase blah, and I was eating, 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 but I still knew like I was so optimistic towards my future. I knew my future was going to be bright once I removed myself. So I remember I was applying to colleges, and my major at the time was fashion design. And so my favorite school, my dream school, Fashion Institute Technology, I got a letter in the mail, and I was so excited. I was excited. I was ecstatic, whatever you want to call it. I was all of that. Um, I low-key just combined that word, but I was all of that. I was so excited to get accepted to FIT and to know, like, okay, dreams do come true. That was my dream school. So I'm dreaming about that school, and it came into reality. That was my first time ever realizing that anything I put um, into tuition, into like a positive forward movement of action, it can come into fruition. And so that was the very first significant thing in my life, was to get accepted to FIT. However, I was with the extended family at this time, and my guardian, who I was living under, did not want me to go. So much, in fact, that she did not even go through with supporting me in that move to go to FIT. And I was so devastated. I was so hurt. I was really discouraged. I was really discouraged. Though last minute, I did get accepted to a community college, which had fashion. So at that point, I was like, okay, college is college. Like, I'm still the first person in my immediate family to attend college, so I'm gonna just go anyways and just experience the experience it, you know, because nobody in my immediate family has gone to college. So I was blessed and excited to be the very first one to go. So, um, you know, like I remember like just going through my fashion and being so persistent into my career. Like fashion design was my very first career out of anything. Out of being a life coach, being a dental assistant, um, being into the dental field, which is I am in the dental field as well. But you know, just life coach, dental, being a rapper. I don't want to say rapper, being a musician. You know, because I do more than just rapping. But rapping is my because rap hip hop is my most favorite genre out of all the genres, and I'm very open minded to all genres. However, hip hop is my favorite. That's the I'm a musician. However, hip hop is my most strong suit in regards to music. So just being a musician, being yeah, yeah, being an encouragement. You know, fashion was my favorite thing. I knew I was going to be a designer since the age of 12. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur by the age of 12. I knew I was going to be into the fashion. I knew fashion was everything. It was my idol. I made it my idol. Before I knew Jesus Christ, I knew fashion. I knew the industry. I knew the ins and out. I knew textiles. I studied these things. You know, I went to school for it. So fashion was in my blood. Okay. Growing up, before I even knew I wanted to be a legit designer, fashion was life, like life. Water, oxygen, food, fashion. Um, so much so that during my time of being overweight and all of that, like, you know, my main encouragement with getting back to my normal self and losing that weight was to the fashion. It was the fashion. I needed to be the icon that I know I am in regards to fashion. So, um, yeah, I'll just put it like that. It wasn't no relationships. It wasn't no trying to seek validation from others. It was fashion. I was trying to seek validation through fashion. Okay. So yeah, so that was my first career out of anything in all of my endeavors. And so, like I remember like on on Facebook when I had social media at the time. When I had social media at the time, like my family members would comment under my post, like, "Oh, oh, good job, I love you, da 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 da, I support you." But in real life, they were not rocking with me. They were against me. They was talking down on me. I remember I would try to style everybody in the household, and my the guardian at the time, my guardian would like change their clothes and like would tell them, "Oh, you're not wearing that," or da 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 da, da. Like would just talk down on my career and just me trying to elevate into my fashion. I remember I would put my fashion above like going on like luxury trips with the family. It was my career, and I knew at the time I had to sacrifice in order to become successful. So yeah. So not just fashion, just anything positive in my life. Like my family just did not. They wasn't for me. And now that I'm realizing, like, I'm an adult now, I'm so glad I became one of those family members who's distant. Now in my life, I've noticed is the two that I known to be distant growing up. The last time I seen my lady, the lady family member, one of my distant cousins. I've seen. I last saw her. I was in high school. I remember I was in like 11th grade. I was not even 17 yet. I was still 16. That was the last time I saw her. Now my cousin, my guy cousin, distant cousin in the family. Last time I seen him was literally I was literally I had to be like if I wasn't 10 years old, I was if I wasn't for sure it was 10 years old. I remember the last time seeing him 10 years old for sure. But I want to say just to be fair and just to not tell it like I really don't remember, but I want to say it was a repass type of situation. So I last saw him it was like I had to be I want to say like I want to say I want to say 16 or yeah, 16, but for sure 10. I remember 10 vividly being around him and seeing him and seeing him in my life. And not being distant, but as I grew up, I realized like this family that I'm in that the Lord for some reason the Lord decided that he was going to and I want to choose my words right. So I don't want to be corny in this video, but this is how I really feel. I truly believe that the Lord, I guess, wanted to, I guess, cause me to go through some life experiences, and He chose this specific family dynamic to to. He decided for me to be born within this family dynamic. I had to go through these traumas and these situations with this specific group of individuals. Um, I don't, what seems right to man ends in destruction, Lord. Even though it felt like destruction, being in the midst, the Lord knows everything and He has a higher purpose through it all. So, despite whatever negative feelings I have about everybody in within my assigned family, um, the Lord is good regardless, and He's my family. Like the Lord is my family. He's gonna bless me with like-minded individuals as myself. So I'm very excited about that as I embark on this journey towards salvation, and as we embark together, because you're on the journey towards salvation as well, especially if you're watching this video. So just click the like and subscribe for more, and I do thank you and appreciate you for that. But yeah, like not just bad, like just in regards to my career, just in regards to my happiness in general, and just wanting to be together. You know, even though I've been isolated and I've been cast away and all of that, I still deep down inside, the Lord knows I still had a sense of a love and an openness for my family, especially my immediate family, despite it seeming as if like there's no hope. Recently this year, this happened this year. So one of my nephew, my oldest nephew, my nephew, he just graduated high school, and I was so excited for him. I was so happy for him. You know, he told me his future goals, his careers, and I presumed that the Lord wanted me to be a positive role model into his life personally. You know, I had plans to get myself together, take care of him, bring him in, trying to raise him up in his newfound adulthood. You know, you're 18 now. You you're out of high school, so you know time to really think about your life. So since I knew what I wanted to be since I was 12 and I was pursuing that, soon as I got out of high school, soon as I got out of high school, I didn't even have a full summer break. I did not have a full summer break. I was straight into my fashion career. I was only taking a break for like a month. I took a month break, a 2 month break, the most, and I was boom, career, college, you know? So like I wanted to be the same example for my nephew, being that he was going to be the second one. Since he mentioned college, he was going to be the second one to go to college within our immediate family. So I just really wanted to be that positive role model for him, you know, telling me all these goals, aspirations, and I'm so happy for him. I love him like you're my flesh and blood, like you're my nephew. You know, I love you. So I just want to be a positive role model. But however, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he got influenced. I don't know if he got manipulated into not conversing with me or interacting with me anymore. But I remember like I it was weird. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were hurt. So what happened was I had texted him. I was like, oh hey, da 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 da, ignore. And then I texted him again. I was like, oh, cash at me your thing so I can send you your graduation gift. And boom, he caught me right away. And he like, oh my bad, da 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 da, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh whatever. Of course, you know you cash app, that's money. So you of course, who doesn't want to? And plus you just graduated. Yeah, let me get my graduation gift. I was the same way when I was his age, when I had just graduated. So I get it. Um, so boom, I thank the Lord that I did not give him the amount that I was going to initially give him, which was going to be a nice hefty amount. But I decided to just ease up, ease up. You know, I wanted to really see where his heart posture was. So I didn't give him the hefty amount that I really wanted to and was going to literally my not my spirit, my flesh was going to give him this hefty amount, but I gave him a little bit of it, like just a little change of it. And since then, like I have not heard from him till this day. Every time I've called him, it's been as if I'm blocked. It's been like just MIA, and I have talked to my niece, which is his older sister, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we talked just today." I remember last time me and her spoke, like, "Oh, we talked today," and it's like, "Dang." I'm like, "Oh, so I'm blocked." Okay, that's how you feel. I mean, I'm hurt. I can't lie, like, "Oh, it doesn't hurt," whatever. Da 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 da. Like, if a friend decided to do that, I mean, it'll not trigger me, but it'll be like it'll make me question, but I wouldn't be as hurt because that's not, you know, this is not just distant family member. This is my immediate, you know. So the fact, and not just my upper, my seniority, um, immediate family. This is my I'm the senior in regards to this immediate family dynamic. So the fact that like my nephew is blocking me, like my nephew literally blocked me, I felt like so hurt. Same thing with my niece. Like my niece, um, you know, she's the type to, and I'm not gonna do too much because that's her story to tell. That's not mine. But just from my viewpoint of her, like she's the type to keep up with the Joneses. My whole family is, to be honest. My whole immediate family keeps up with the Joneses. They live all my life we've all grown up to be like ghetto fabulous, like bougie ghetto fabulous. Just the appearance. What does it look like? If it looks good, then it is good. That's how we all grew up as. So she's still in that mindset, and so I would try to encourage her with the things of the Lord and da da da. She doesn't want to hear any of that. She's a city girl. I view her as the city girl, and we don't have a close relationship. Uh, and it hurts, but I mean, it is what it is. At this point, I've healed from that. I really don't care. To be honest, I'm able to say these things because I do not care anymore, and I promise you, I do not care anymore. But it is what it is. Like I'm just, and then uh, my family in general, like it just they do not like the fact that I'm following the Lord because they're not. They're not following the Lord. They're not. They claim to be in. They claim to love the Lord, but they're not on the path. The Lord requires a certain path. You have to take up your cross and walk with Him. Put down your old self and take up the newness that is in you, that is Christ that lives within you, and you have to walk. I'm doing that. They're not. They is lip service. So, and that's the honest truth. I'm the only one in my not just immediate family, but my extended family to really be on this journey with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Um, and so I'm just so honored and I'm so blessed to be able to do that. And I found myself like very kind of what's the word? I find myself kind of like deterred at times because like seeing my family elevate and continue to grow within the physical, they doing all these physical elevations, and with me when I was in the world I was also doing those physical elevations, but now that I'm into the Lord, you know he had to strip away everything because that wasn't of him. So now he's renewing me, and I have to wait for him to bless me in his will and his the way that he wants to bless me rather than the way that I wanted to strive towards whatever blessings I thought would have been blessings in the road that I was going in. So I'm just so thankful, so grateful. Um, but yeah, like back to the family thing, like it's just so it's heartening and it's heartbreaking when your whole entire family is really not for you. They may appear as if they for you, but I thank the Lord that I'm able to peep. I peep, especially with family. I peep. These family members not for me. I remember I was beefing on before Christ when I was a teenager, mind you. Like I'm talking freshly teenager, like 13, 14, just getting into high school. Like I remember beefing on Facebook with family as if we're like strangers and we're ops. And if you in a community back in Florida, like you know what it is on Facebook in Florida. If you're from Florida, specifically Orlando, if you're from Orlando, Florida, specifically, the whole dynamic on Facebook was you beef, you whatever happens on Facebook, you hold it until the fair. And if it was too much for the fair, if it was too deep that you couldn't wait for the fair, then you just deal with it as soon as possible. But it was that type of thing, and so toxic, it's lame. Now that I'm in Christ, it's so lame. Like it's like the it's lame. Like that's lame AF. Like it's lame. Just chaos, toxic, low vibration. Just no like just it's just lame. Um, um, it's lame, but I used to do that. And I remember in New York, like when I'm with my family in New York, like I used to run a Facebook because I did kind of have a therapist, psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it at the time, but it was a biweekly thing, and I was getting annoyed daily, to be honest with you. I was annoyed daily. I was not happy on a daily basis. I was depressed on a daily basis. I was in a low vibrational state for a daily basis. My whole entire time frame of high school, from grades 9 to 12, I've been in a low vibrational state on a daily basis. So I would run to Facebook, I would run to Snapchat, I would run to these social medias to express my humor. I would have a lot of dark humor. I would portray a lot of bullying because I used to get bullied a lot. So I became the bullier, which even caused me to bully people in my high school who did not deserve that, you know? So it's just a lot of toxic stuff that stemmed from me and being hurt due to my family initiating those things. But I thank the Lord for strength to heal from that because I'm a life coach. You know, I had to. I became a life coach at 24, like I said before. So I just thank the Lord like for um, giving me the strength and the courage and the grace and the patience to really do that inner healing and to strip away those toxic behaviors that I did develop from my family, both immediate family and extended family in general. So yeah, just knowing that what I do know now, I'm not going to go too hard because you know, Lord willing, you'll be able to as time go on, you'll see. But however, just I just want to keep this brief in general. Like, if you're in a situation with your family, oh, before I really say what I gotta say, honor your mother and your father for your days shall prolong the earth. That's the most important thing. And that's something I have to do. Even though, listen, even though my flesh is like, but Lord, da 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 da, you know, okay, like, but still, like, the Lord commands you to honor your mother and your father for your days shall prolong the earth. And so I still have to really do that and to really, despite whatever. It's not easy, but you know, listen, the Lord knows best. Listen, He created this earth 6 days. He rested on the seventh. He gave us the Holy Bible, the scriptures, to give us basic instructions before living eternally. Bible. Basic instructions before living eternally. So He just gave us that. And so that's part of it. We have to honor our mother and our fathers, for our days shall prolong the earth. And as much as chaos and as much what is it, turmoil and pain and trauma and all that negative low vibration stuff I've experienced that has been so prolonged, I have to do that now for sure so I can make sure that my days that are leading towards hope, health. Um, I'm healthy, don't get me wrong. Like I said, my favorite word is pace balance, but just health in all aspects, you know, mentally, emotionally, not just physically, spiritually, everything is health is the real wealth. So that, you know, I want that to be prolonged. Joy, happiness, just the great things that the Lord has to offer. I really want to be prolonged in that, as just as much as I was prolonged in all the turmoil and the enemy being the puppet master in my life. So yeah. But what I was gonna say is like, if you are experiencing any toxicness in your family, um, okay, because I experienced it as a child. So for the teenagers out there, if you so happen to watch this video, if you are a teenager and you're experiencing this, pray to the Lord, get to know the Lord Jesus Christ on your own. Seek Him on in your private times. Get to learn Him and know Him. Seek Him. If you at school, if you like to be at school, get up on your studies. Be good at school. Listen, be at school as long as you need to, because that's what I used to do. It was that bad. I used to stay after school, after hours, like as if I was a nerd. You know, whole time I'm really just trying to get away from the toxicity. So if you got to do that, do that. If you got to seek a counselor at school, do that. If you got to just be, you know, seek the Lord, get to know Jesus. You know, Jesus loves you. You know, He has a plan for your future. You're so young. He has a plan for you. So just seek Him and just know that with the Lord is great things. For the plans I have um, is to prosper you and to give you hope and an expected end. So the Lord is good. So just seek Him. Now, if you are an adult, if you are in your 20s like me, just listen. If you're in a situation where you are still needing your family for like stability purposes, whatever, um, then I get it, but still seek the Lord. Same thing applies. Because honestly, whether you're a teenager or an adult, the Lord wants us to be like little children. So still have that same thing as the what I just gave the teenagers. Have the same thing with the Lord. Like seek Him. Go out to your local library. Just do things. Take a walk. There's so many encouragement words on YouTube. Check out an encouragement word. Check out something positive. I'm listening to some good motivational music. Check out my EP, Sliding. Um, you know, do something. Like do something positive. First of all, though, before all of that, seek the Lord, pray to the Lord, ask Him to reveal Himself in your life, ask Him to make Himself known, make His presence known into the chaos that you may experiencing. Ask Him to just ask Him to just make miracles happen. That you still may have doubts that it can happen. The Lord is He can do anything. So just test Him. He wants to be tested. Test Him. Let Him show Himself to you, and let Him show you that Jesus is real. Um, if for me it was so extreme that I decided to not care about the stability, and I've been into some deeper stuff. But it was that deep. For me personally, it was that deep. I had to just leave all stability behind, leave it all behind, listen, and just rely on the Lord. It's me and the Lord. Okay, it's that deep for me. If it's not that deep for you, you're still blessed to a point to where you're still able to be under the guidelines, obey your parents, and whatever the case may be. Um, your family, love your family. You're blessed. If you're still around your family, you are blessed. Whether you dislike them, whether you whatever, if you're still around them and you still are tolerating them for real, you're not like me and like my other two distant cousins who became the distant ones within the family dynamic, then you are blessed. Okay, because family is vitally important at the end of the day, no matter what. Family is a beautiful thing. Um, so yeah, if you are with your family, cherish your family, create memories, continue to dwell on the positive memories that you've had, and just continue to prosper in that togetherness within your family. But if you're not blessed in that situation, then just seek the Lord and just ask Him what it is that He wants you to do, and just it's a progression. So it's not a race; it's a marathon. Everybody has their own marathon with the Lord. Begin your marathon with Jesus if you haven't already. And if you have and you're watching this, and if you can relate to this, just continue to marathon. This will be like a boost. You play Mario, the Mario Kart. You get on the enemy is like the bananas. You get the bananas. Oh, slip, but keep going. You get a little, okay, but you keep going. Okay. The Lord is like, you follow the Lord, you get on the boost. You know what I'm talking about, the little boost. Zoom, that's the Lord. So just continue to be boosted into the Lord, and just be encouraged. And I really try not to make my videos as long as they do, but I just have to be, real vulnerable and you know, with y'all. So yeah, I love you. Once again, just to sum it all up and recap, like if you are experiencing any toxicity within your family, if you have to be the one that has to withdraw yourself, do so. Your energy is precious. Your time is precious. Your energy is precious. Don't let nobody waste your time. It could be your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your auntie, your niece, it could be your lover. It could be if you're in a marriage, and if you're in a toxic marriage, that's family too. So it could be your lover. Pray to the Lord to to give you strength, because the Lord does not like, he doesn't like separation. You know, family is everything. So like just continue to just pray and ask for strength into that. But if you gotta withdraw yourself and if you married, if you gotta withdraw yourself and go for a walk or do some activities that you like to do without your spouse or without the family around, if you like to do what you like to do, like your passions, do that, because that's a healthy way of coping and still keeping your own niche. You know, you got your own niche about yourself, you know, before anything. So you got to keep your niche. You know, you got to keep your niche for yourself. Yes, you know, for others, but at the end of the day, you got to keep it for yourself. So just continue to do that. Like for me, I like to do sipping paints. I like to do poetry. I like to do, you know, continue with my fashion. So just those are my some of my niches. Music, create music. So yeah. Um, just continue to do so. Learn how to. The Lord been teaching me patience. Learn how to be patient with your family despite whatever. I have to. I'm learning this definitely from a distance, and honestly, like it's gonna stay at a distance. I view myself staying at a distance within my family dynamic, and that's for both immediate and um, external. Okay, for me personally, I'm staying at a distance because the Lord, you know, the Lord is my father. Like that's my dad. So long as I got him, like I don't care. Like period. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care about any hurt, any betrayal, any whatever it may get me at a certain point, but through it all and the end and the end, I do not care. So yeah. Um but yeah, that's pretty much this video, and Lord willing, we talk to you soon. Till next time.